Hey guys, had an interesting quick question here on the Photography Critique and Growth Guild. If you aren't part of this Facebook page, please feel free to drop in. It's more of a place where we try to do some honest reviews. I wouldn't say harsh or too critical. I mean, we want to be nice and kind, but we also don't want to blatantly lie to somebody when something's, where there's room for improvement. So, anyways, so question kind of came up on a light and dreamy look, I think. So, I'm not an expert at it, but I wanted to try and edit one that way and show what I was talking about when I responded to this, because I'm not going to say her name, but she asked about it and wanted some critique, and I think she's really close on her photography style and a couple of things that I would possibly change up to make that look. But again, I'm not an expert, so part of it is I just want to play and see if I can do it. One is having a fairly backlit photo or fairly light and highly exposed photo, something already pushing those edges, I think is going to be a necessity to do this. You don't want to pull up when everything's down here in the bottom of your histogram here. But I think you also want to have decent catch lights. This is blurry here on purpose, or not on purpose. Well, it is, the depth of field and stuff. But anyways, I still like to have light in the eyes. No matter what on a photo, I personally like that. So let's just jump right into editing. One thing I think to start out is I'm using Capture One. I'm sure Lightroom has all or very similar things to this. I'm going to raise the brightness just a little bit. Not too much, because I think I'm going to jump up here and lower the contrast. Just kind of giving that light little feel to it. Clarity is another one that brings the sharpness down. One, I don't think on this photo we have to bring it down too much, as long as this isn't distracting, this being the main point of view. So maybe this isn't the best picture to do this on, but I kind of wanted to start looking at it here. So as you can see already, just those two adjustments just kind of softened everything up a little bit, or three adjustments already. I'm going to continue growing though. One thing I think also is possibly bringing the saturation down a little, depending on how much contrast and stuff you have, might be okay. And white balance, I think that's going to depend on the mood you're wanting to give no matter what, because you cool it off, you may get a feeling you want warming up. I think the white balance is kind of neither here nor there on this particular style. However, I do think bringing the shadows up a little bit, again, that's going to lower that contrast just a little bit more. Just taking some things, away. I would also go in and add some kind of noise, I think. Hey, there's my watermark. You guys aren't supposed to see that. It's a hidden Easter egg. We'll just take that out of the way. Anyways, don't tell anybody, all right? No one at all. So I get this up to about 100%. So I want to be able to see, what we're looking at if this were to print at 100%. Granted, these would be huge files. But I like the silver rich. Just kind of matches my style. And I'm just bringing that up just a little bit. I don't want it to be too overly big. I'm just looking for a little texture. I do this in a few different other photos. The granularity, you can see how it kind of blurs it. So what I feel that this does is even you're out of focus, or even it just kind of remains a little bit almost more three-dimensional, almost a little more pop can be done through noise if done right. So let's look from, again, start to finish here. This is our original photo. And then we bring it down, and here we go. Are we at the soft and dreamy look? Not 100% yet. And like I said, I'm not an expert at this. So I don't know if this is, going to turn out quite as good as what we want. Another thing I don't like on this particular photo is I have so much headspace up here. I'm not very often a 3:2 aspect ratio guy. I really like 4/3. And I still see in 4/3. I shot with 4/3 for so long. I think that's just kind of where my eye's at. So, you know, we each have our own style and what we like. Still not quite the dreaminess I was thinking, so I'm going to push the brightness up just a little bit more. And doing just the brightness, when you can individualize these channels a little bit, you can do this also in levels some, and you can also do different colors. You can also do it a little bit in curves. You can do your different color areas are all by color. So you can get into a lot of detail in this, and like I'm not an expert in these areas. I've played with it a little bit, and I can play some, but I don't think I would never tell anybody definitively you always do this. I think playing with some of the stuff, you can get a really different look that you want, because you could take just the red channel, you know, and you can adjust those midtones in the red channel. So you can kind of shift those around a little and give kind of a split tone if you wanted to. Also in the curve here, you could take that red channel and do it in the curve as well. Let's see. Take that away. But back up to this here. I think we'll raise our shadows just a little bit more. I think I want just a little bit more brightness. I am going to take the highlights down though. And that's going to bring these down here. Just because too bright or too much white annoys me. It's not cool. And that's why I'm coming from the brightness and not the full exposure. Because you see we lost those highlight covers. So I think now I'm thinking this is really close to the max that I can take this photo. Because this is where I'm not good at that light dreamy look. It's just a little too much. I've seen people do it great. I think more lighting and everything needs to be adjusted. So that's the before and after. What do you think? Is it something worthwhile? Did I explain it well enough? I don't know. But I think these are some areas that you can play in, and you can kind of fine tune and start getting a little bit more detail into, or a little bit more nuances into how you want to build your style. But anyways, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. I appreciate the question and bringing it up, and I hope that this helps somebody just kind of play with trying to find your style a little. Anyways, thanks and have a great day.